Daniel F. asks, and here we go with, hello, Daniel. Hello, Dave. Congratulations on the recent successful launch of the CAN 11 Plus Rudibus Kickstarter. Thank you. Bit of a nail biter, and I didn't want to know how it was doing, but I at least know that we passed CAN 10, which that's a major accomplishment. I didn't know we were going to do that a year later on from CAN 10. On a post in the Cerebus Facebook group discussing it, someone complained about the choice of earliest pages in the A-V Cerebus Archive rather than the best pages. Manly Matt Dow replied saying that the best pages are subjective and that Gerhard had taken a number of pages for himself, limiting the number of page options available for use in the archive series. My question is, what were the circumstances of Gerhard taking certain pages from the A-V Cerebus Archive for himself? Was it part of the final agreement of buying out Gerhard's shares of the company? Roughly how many pages did Gerhard take? The circumstances were that, yes, I repurchased his shares, his 40% of the company, for the amount that he named. This is how much he wanted. I'm not going to quibble. Okay, it's a lot of money, but I will find out a way to get you that money, and I will own 100% of Aardvark Vanaheim. The agreement that I wanted to have, and the agreement that I had pitched to him was, okay, obviously you have a share of the artwork. If you want to sell pages, if you want, here's the complete inventory of how many pages are there. Here's your copy of the inventory. You can, provide this list to anybody that you want, and if they say to you, well, okay, I would really like this page, and I'm willing to give you this much money, then you tell me, and whoever is doing the shipping, it's rolling now, but it wasn't at the time. Whoever's doing the shipping, they will ship the artwork to whoever it is that you sold it to, and then you compensate me for my share of that piece, whatever you think it's my share of the piece is worth. And if I'm not planning on selling any artwork, but if I do sell any artwork, I will compensate you for what I think your share of it is, and we'll basically it's going to make us both more fair and even with each other, because you're always going to have another page that the other guy's going to sell and go, well, okay, this is how much you're getting. You would have gotten more, but this is how much you gave me last time. And Gerhard didn't want that. He definitely, at the break point, went, I want my artwork. I don't want to leave it with Aardvark Vanaheim. It's like the Stevie Wonder song, for once in my life, this is mine, you can't take it. And never having been an assistant, in my own situation, I think it might be just part of that psychology. It's like, I'm tired of, so much of my life being sort of like subsumed within you, that when it comes to artwork, I want my artwork, and I want my artwork where I'm going to store it. As far as I know, Gerhard stores his artwork off-site, the same as Aardvark Vanaheim does. So at that point, it was like, well, okay, if that's the way you want it to be, then we will meet at the off-site storage, and you go through and pull out what you think is your artwork. Obviously, in terms of if it's got more background on it than it does Cerebus, you put in more time on it. So yes, definitely, this is your page. Roughly, how many pages did Gerhard take? Very fuzzy memory on that. It's like I wasn't going to hang over him while he was doing it. Like, I want to see what you're doing while you're doing it. It's difficult enough making those decisions without somebody hanging over you. And when he did come to the end of going through all of the artwork and pulling stuff out, he went, do you want to look at it? Do you want to look at what pages that I'm taking? And I went, no, not really. It's whatever you think is fair. You're the one that has to decide that. I can see roughly what the stack is. Ballpark, in the hundreds, maybe 1,000. But again, not really wanting to focus on it. It was as long as he was taking the artwork, and when Sean Robinson started doing the remastering, then it's like, okay, now we have here's all the pages that are in the Cerebus Archive that Sandy was scanning, and then Rolly was scanning. Those go to Sean Robinson. Gerhard scanned his pages, and those went to Sean Robinson. There were missing pages. That's going to happen when you have 6,000 of them. I didn't steal them. Gerhard didn't steal them. It's just that's going to happen. And Sean would say, "Do you have these pages? These pages are missing." And it's like, "No, I don't have them." And he would say to Gerhard, "Do you have these pages?" And no, Gerhard didn't have them. So those would have to be remastered from printing copies or negatives or whatever the next best was after the original artwork. Going back to the best pages argument, not realizing that the Cerebus Archive portfolios were going to go from doing the 10 earliest pages, and then I'll get through to volume 16, and then, okay, now I can double back and do the next 10 pages. I didn't think it would be 13 years later, and we're working on portfolio number 12. So if I can get through the first round, it's very possible that I could do a best pages. Or other options are, here are all the scans. Here are the remastered scans. Here are the raw scans. Put your own portfolio together. That was definitely something early in Studio Comics Press that I was thinking of doing when Sandy was working here. You can put together your own Cerebus Archive portfolio, and you get it's 10 pages or 12 pages for $100, and here's the shopping list. You pick out your pages, and Studio Comics Press will print them out, either from the remastered versions or from the raw files, depending what your preference is. And if you want to buy 10 portfolios with 100 pages, okay, it's going to cost you $1,000, but you get to pick out the pages that you're doing. That's a completely different model, but would definitely be possible to do on Kickstarter. How do you think that would go, Matt? Do you think that would just make everybody's brains melt and it wouldn't work, or people would go, "Oh, right, here's all the thumbnails. I can blow through these and go, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one," and then whittle it down to what I can afford.
The portfolio, I think the portfolio for this, for number 11, which is on Kickstarter right now, flashy link. I think it's $95 for just the portfolio, not including the shipping, and I think with shipping it's $30. It's like $125 for 10 the first 10 of guys. If you were to sell, you pick 10. Here's the list of what's available. You can have any 10 pages you want. Just the nature of the beast being what the nature of the beast is. Charging the same price for the first 10 versus you pick 10. People would go for it, but I think, in the long run, just because it's going to involve a lot more legwork than the current model does, I think you're going to have to charge a little more. Just, I don't want to pay more as a Cerebus fan, but as a guy that is trying to help support the aardvark and his daughterage, I think we're going to have to ask for a little bit of money, because, it's going to involve a little more work than just, okay, here's the scans of the first 10, print out a bunch of these, we shuffle them into the stay flats, slap the label on, mail them out type thing. Yes, it's the same workload for you pick 10, except there's the added of, okay, Margaret wants as many pages from issue 150 or
114.
114. My brain's going 151. No, that's the issue that I want the pages from.
Right.
Well, the Death of Death is the funniest 4 pages in the entire series to me, because it the judge being the judge, and we all know the judge. We've seen the judge. We know he's going to be a big, pompous windbag. And then he gets to that last panel of death going, well, fuck me. And it's like, it was so perfectly paced and executed that, I love those pages. I also understand 2 of those pages are gone forever. They're not in the archive anymore. You sold them back in the day when you were at a convention and somebody went, I'll give you a bunch of money.
Yes.
Or whatever the asking price was if it was a good day.
Well, it was a bunch of money at the time. It was $100, and people had to really, really think about that. $100 for a Cerebus page.
I come back to this. I was at a convention in the early 2000s where Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti were selling original pages from their run of Daredevil they did with Kevin Smith. And they were just on a table, in a pile, not even an organized pile, just they were all in individual plastic sheeting, and they were just kind of thrown onto this random pile, and people were shuffling through them. And I was looking through them too, because, I think it was Joe's wife. Might have been his girlfriend, might have been his wife, I'm not sure. But she was, the one helping sell the pages. And there's, in the storyline, Karen Page dies. And there's a 2-page spread of the funeral for Karen Page. And it's got, it's a bunch of people in a church, but, Peter Parker's there, there's some other superheroes and secret entities there, it's one of those kind of pages that you look at and oh yeah, that's neat. And the original page is really nice looking. And there's a little sticker in the corner that says 15, and I'm going, there's no way they're selling this for $15. Is that $150? And no, it's $1,500. It's $1,500. That's when I went, I'm not looking at artwork anymore. I can't afford it, and something's going to happen, and they're going to want my money.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. The good news is you do have at least 4 more campaigns to think about it and go, do I really want to, go down this rabbit hole or not? And people listening to this can go, oh, yes, I very much, I like the idea of build your own portfolio, gimme. And it's okay, just understand that there's going to be a definitive gap between 16 and 17 if this is the route, because we're going to get all our ducks in a row before we open the floodgates to, okay, go nuts, guys. Because there's probably a chance where there's one page that's the quote-unquote best page in the entire Cerebus archive that everyone's going to want to print of. So you can easily print 300 of them and sell all 300 prints without it being a problem. And then there's probably going to be a page that Larry Wooten wants, and everybody else is like, you're weird, Larry.
I think that's more the case with Cerebus fans than the first possibility, to be really honest with you. I think most Cerebus fans look at other Cerebus fans and go, you're weird. And we look at me and Gerhard the same way. It's like, you're weird. Why would you think those are the best pages? Well, because they're the best pages. It's that's what I like the best about my work, and this is what Gerhard likes the best about his work. I think it's the meltdown factor would probably keep it from happening, because it would be too many choices. It's the Blockbuster Video thing again. Of okay, here's the entire candy store. Which chocolate bar do you want? And it's like, I just can't deal with this. I'm going to go elsewhere online and do something else. I think they're going to want me to make some decisions, which I think I would probably do and say, okay, these aren't the 10 earliest pages, but if I had to pick 10, if these aren't my best pages, they're definitely near the top of the list. In terms of if I was going to sell these originals, they would be the last to go for auction. I'll be happy to explain to you why I look at them that way. And I'm sure Gerhard could do the same thing. And like you say, there is at least probably 2 years, if not 4 years, until we're facing this, because I do want to get through one cycle of Can 1 through Can 16.
Well, and there's also, if you make it the you pick thing, like as an example, Larry likes number 11. I could see Larry going, I want the 11th earliest page from each one of the phone books, so that it's my special, one of one can quote 11.
Right.
And right now, Larry's listening. Well, not right now, but when this goes up, Larry's going to hear that and go, yes, Matt. Let me just write Dave a blank check now.
I was thinking of torturing Larry by saying to Rolly, can you go through the last 25 issues of Cerebus and Hell with a question mark and pull out all the number 11s, and we'll put them up for $50 each. That's just cruel. I mean, but it is kind of funny. It's just a suggest.
Wait a sec. I hear a distant cry from Easton, Pennsylvania. What about number 26?
What about 26? Or Jennifer DiGiacomo going, I got 15s. I got a giant pile of Cerebus and Hell with a question mark, number 15s. What about me? What about the 15s that I'm missing?
It is kind of funny.
Oh, with great power comes great responsibility.
It is kind of
and also a few belly laughs.
It is kind of funny that it is can time, and my can number's 37, and today at work, because we use the Julian calendar, today's 37.
How about that?
I was setting my stamp.
How about that?
I was setting my stamp at work, going, "Oh, this is going to be fun when it comes up," because I know can numbers are going to come up tonight. Yeah, that's scary. You're starting to think like Dave Sim. Okay, so that covers that as best I can, Daniel. I will just add another Jeff Seiler story, which was I did pitch Jeff
on the idea saying, what if I said to you that you could have any Cerebus page in the archive for $2,000 US? And it's like just left it with him and said, okay, but the qualifier is that you have to will the page back to the Cerebus Archive. And Jeff was on board with that and actually picked the You Die Alone, Unmourned, and Unloved page from the end of Church and State. And didn't have his will made out, so consequently that page is gone. So, and it wouldn't be $2,000 now, but I have considered doing that in terms of a fundraiser, saying, okay, you can have any page that's in the Cerebus Archive for $4,000 US, but I would have to have a copy of your notarized will sent to me saying, yes, it's right here in the will, and my erator understands exactly what the situation is and knows that that page has to go back to you. When I did that with Jeff, he paid the $2,000, and because it was a Dave Sim Gerhard page, I went, okay, let me try, because this is the first page that I've sold out of the Cerebus Archive that is Dave Sim Gerhard. I will send Gerhard a check for his share of that page. And Gerhard sent the check back. And it was, no, we made our deal. As long as I got the pages that I got and they were my pages, we're all done. You know, I don't want to get into compensating you for whatever I get on my pages. You don't compensate me on what you get on your pages. But I went, okay, I still wish that he would do it. I still wish that he would accept payment in any case where, you know, once in a blue moon, I sell a page from the Cerebus Archive. I would be more comfortable if Gerhard made something off of it. But this is the deal that Gerhard wanted. This is the deal that we have.